scratchy because my daughter went to sleep with the gas on and we almost died. So I'm just... Vampires? Real people. And they lusting after blood. And they marking each other. They stopped getting around the neck because they don't want people to question them. So now they're doing the legs and arms and the thighs, actually sucking blood from each other. But that's not any different than our brothers and sisters that live in Ethiopia and Kenya, who are nomadic, and they just, yes, cut the throat of their cattle, put a little blood in, and mix it. But the people down south call it blood pudding. Okay, okay. So we need to understand that there's nothing wrong with it. It's the order that you do it in, so that it doesn't become disorder. So now I won't walk down the street and see Barnabas Collins or, you know, the vampire coming, because I'm about ready for all of that, because I know it's happening. It's happening. And the rawer the meat, the more conditioning you get for that blood when you cut it. See, you get conditioned first for the smell, and then the juice, and then the blood. Okay, so you might actually bite somebody and like it. Okay, so when you're eating rare meat, you're in rare form. All right? So what's happening now is, so you have people who actually tell you they got to have a steak. They got to have steak and potatoes and all this. The sisters, you're responsible for this. Stop cooking this madness. Because if you don't, you're making a carnivorous animal eating in your house. It might eat you. And I don't mean in that way. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is, and then our sons, they be hyped up. They playing ball, they're on the team, and they souped up, and the coach is giving them 25 mega burgers. And when they come home, they expect you to feed them like that too. So now I'm looking at the girls, or the young men and the young women. The young women bodies now is squaring off. They're getting square bodies. They're not getting curved. Even if you was plumpy, you would have a little curve or something. They're not doing that no more. Them girls is getting straight, blocky bodies. And they wearing their hats like the brothers, and they walking down the street like this, right? And they holding where whatever's supposed to be here, they be like this. Now, if these are the women that's going to be having our children, then we have some serious problems. So now we have to deal with, how did that thing get out of order? And it got out of order because a lot of the brothers were allowed to just do whatever they wanted to do. We raise the daughters and spoil the sons. Oh, he can't change the baby's diaper. Oh, he can't cook this. Give that boy another helping of this food. Okay, you saw that movie? Hercules. You saw that? I didn't want to see it. I kept going like this. You know, but I had to watch it because, see, that man is a genius to be able to put the life form on screen. I grew up in houses like that. Everybody would sit at the table gorging. And I had to keep feeding them. And whatever they left us is what me and my sisters ate. If it wasn't nothing, it wasn't nothing. So I learned how to put the food in plastic bag and put it in the garbage. So when we take the garbage, I could feed them. Yeah. We couldn't take a bath in our own water. Take a bath in the water that you left. So I had to sit back now and start watching. Why is disorder in this house and I live in this house? Okay, and that's when I had to click into learning the socialization skills so I could survive in your grandmama's house with your cousins and your aunts. And when I realized, you know, my grandmother used to always say, when you have a man, you know, and a woman, if the woman is really wrong and bad, the man gonna leave her. He can't make her do right, he gonna leave. But if a woman has a man and he's wrong and he's bad, she be trying to fix him, trying to make him right, trying to feed him the most, trying to have all his babies. It ain't gonna work. Okay, so my grandmother showed us how to do it. Just feed them the most, let them get drunk, go to sleep, and then we could do hair, we could do nails, we could play house, and we could have fun. Because you couldn't change them. Survival tactics. So I would just pile all kind of stuff on their plate. I didn't care if it was from last week. As long as they had their friends and they ate and they just got stuffed. So we have to learn how to survive now. Because I'm talking about the survival rate of women going down. Newark, New Jersey is #1 for HIV infection heterosexually. #2 for tuberculosis. And that's because a lot of the women in Newark still dealing with, and I'm not saying this in a bad sense of the word. Like, I've seen a lot of brothers here still have that southern thing, that southern kind of way, where women could get with them. These brothers are not like brothers where we live. Even if you call yourself hardcore, trust me, I know hardcore, you're not hardcore, like up there where I live. Okay? Because ain't nobody got no gun. I don't think maybe one or two, but everybody ain't got no gun showing. Where I live, you have to stop at the door and you have to leave your gun. Okay, I'm telling you. All kind of devices will be beeping, your shit going off. And some people just protest, now we ain't giving it up. And I don't mean just brothers, I mean sisters and young boys. M16s and stuff, magnums. So it's a different kind of darkness. So now we're dealing with survival. The reason why we got like this was because it was allowed, because they know when you let people go to the far extreme, they're going to annihilate themselves. They're going to think it's them who's the enemy. They're going to think that we have to put each other in check because we're not good. They're going to have us killing each other, out-eating each other, out-lying each other. All of the madness is to the extreme because they need us to help get rid of each other, so it's less for them. We don't need thinking, clean men. That's what that society does not want. Most of the brothers who've been in and out of the prison system, they are institutionalized.
That's right.
Even though they look right, they're not rational. And then you got women who's running behind these men because you want to have a man in your life, in your house, in your bed.
Right.
Okay? You can't live like that. You can't think laying on your back. It has to change. Because if it doesn't change, you're going to have defective children. And these defective children are going to be hostile against you. So that's why we have 4 generations under my age that's just messed up. Messed up from the age of 12 years old to 42, 43 years old. 4 generations, 5 generations shut out. No respect, no moral consciousness, don't care. Them young brothers tell me they was born to die. You 12 years old with a gun on me. What happened to you in your life that made you want to die? We born to die, sis. Not this way. Or somebody smoking themselves to death. You got to die with something. I hear it all the time. Can't stop all of this stuff. If we stop all of it, we're just going to fall apart and die. I mean, I hear all this rationalization that's just sick. We have to stand back and say, wait a minute. This is not how your grandmother's mother did it. You cooked food with your hands, you baked bread, you did preserves. You had 3, 4, 5 family members in the house all the time. We didn't have latchkey kids. I feel very bad about my daughters having to come home and open their house up and I'm not there. I'm starting to get sick. I get nauseous, I vomit, all kind of stuff while I'm at work, trying to wonder, did they get home all right? Was there any crazy people on the porch? Drive-by shoes. I mean, because it happens like that. And then you start saying, wait a minute. You know, your kids say, get a dog. And I'm saying, get a man. And then I'm saying, nah, get a dog. And then I'm saying, nah, feed the dog. So you don't get nothing. Okay? Or get a gun. So you lay there at night. You hear something, you just be like this. Yeah. Then you start saying, let me get some Drano, get some honey. Put the Drano and the honey together. It'll lie. It's thick. Or, it's so many survival tactics against us. We should not be our enemy.
That's right. That's right.
And for us to be scared of our, okay, we don't go to police because you work for the police. Either you prostituting or you doing something.
That's right.
Even the ones that try to help you, you got to give them some.
That's right.
Okay? And then we got sisters that's done the same crazy stuff.
That's right.
Having babies for money. Okay? Or get pregnant or not pregnant, lie and say they're pregnant to get money from the man. Trying to keep the man and get pregnant. You walk around trying to swell your stomach up acting like you're pregnant. And you're not. Or you miscarry. That's your period. Tell the truth. Okay, we go through a lot of stuff just to hold on to something that's ill. So now we have to deal with, put ourselves in check. Put the mirror up there in front of your face. You know how you look and you don't want to see them little lumps and bumps and all? That's you. Okay, you're not a size 8 anymore? So what? Okay, like Patty say, you know, if you don't know me by now, you can't keep on going in this facade, an African butt in European jeans. It don't fit. We ain't shaped like them people. So we need to stop thinking like them. That's why we mess up out here. Okay? We need to understand that we need to feed ourselves live food. And I know it's difficult for you to think that you can just get on natural biotic food. It's nothing natural that's pure right now. Even the brown rice, you put that in water and the molasses come off. I know. The food is grown in the soil is contaminated. So how are you going to get naturally good food? People who say, oh, Sister Salaam Alaikum, I got halal meat. Did you feed that animal yourself?
That's right, sis. Say it again.
I don't want to get all into that because you know what happens is they're going to choke my neck. But I know if you didn't raise it from the mother and fed the mother and gave the mother whole natural grain, see, so whatever's feeding us is feeding your chickens.
That's right.
And them same chickens is killing our people. And black folks is hung up on chicken. We got to have chicken. Okay? And the thing is we're not even looking at, and I tell my kids all the time, look at how black folks kill and slaughter chickens to eat, and then step back and say, this is what they do to us, to eat us. We are eating each other alive. And another system has perpetrated that for us to do. If we became more naturalistic in our eating habits, natural foods and juices and fruits, we have more thinking because we have more oxygen to the brain, less impurities. You'd be getting up through the night. Instead of going to the bathroom at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, you'd be getting up to study. You'd be getting up to look outside and see the wonders of the universe out there in front of you, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay? You would be hyped up at 3 or 4 because melanin rises at that time, and that's when you really need to high. Take some pills. Do something during that time other than the right thing. So now when you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, why are you still tired? Because you done ate the wrong food, drank too much or whatever. You didn't go to bed peaceful. You probably argued and fussed and fight. Okay? And you ain't getting none, or you got some and it wasn't what you wanted. So we have to redirect this energy, because that also takes a toll on your life. The way you go to bed is the way you wake up. My grandmama used to say, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. So now if we're laying down with some positive thought and some positive energy and people around you, you have this energy where you can't wait. And you know that home is there for you to come home to after you went out to the job or the workplace. You have to beat the path back home. And we have forgotten how to do that because we're too busy trying to get dressed and get out. Okay? And if we don't watch ourselves, first of all, there ain't going to be too many jobs left because this whole economic system has been crushed. Okay, we just playing with fake money now. HMOs and all them little green cards and MasterCards and all that stuff. That's fake stuff, plastic stuff. It's not real. Okay, and we need to look again to the south for growing things. So you got a lot of land down here. We got a concrete jungle up there. Very few of us can grow things. I mean, know how to grow things, but to be able to get that concrete out of the yard, you got to have some serious brothers come in and chop it up. And they're all brothers that will break up the land for you. But because they have to be hidden and tucked away, because they've done some things in this system that they can't be seen, okay, you got to feed them and try to keep them alive because they're experts in what they do, but they can't be known about. Okay? And then if someone trying to get down here to get caught on the road because you're driving with somebody who got 20 kilos or some dumb stuff or some guns. So we can't trust anymore that, brother, I'll give you a ride. And you look for him and don't see him, you're locked up. So what we have to do is the manpower down here is different. There's still that hospitality, that 2 or 3 brothers will come and push the car down the street and help you. See up there to help push the car, and then they take your car. They bump up against your car, and you think you're getting out to see what happened. Click, click, they got your car. And they keep your wife in the car because they're going to deal with her. Okay? So it's a whole nother vibe. So what we have to do, and we have to do this, is get some jars, put that wheat and that honey and that flour and that sugar and whatever else you need, put it in the basement. I watch my grandmother pinch stuff like that, you know. And I can say, why she don't give it to us? Why she keep it pinching it? But when you need it, it's there. Don't talk about it because people know you got it, they come to get it. Okay? Learn how to disinfect certain things, you know, with natural things. You can use bleach to disinfect water. You can put lemon in water. Boil it, put the lemon in water, put a cap on it. Because all you have to do is reboil that. Okay? And just let it sit. There are ways that you can survive. But based on right now, you have to be cleaned, okay, and do another side to your body because we're not living as long as we should live. And the streets are taking us. Miseducation is taking us. Bad water is taking us out. Believe me, your faucets, you know, everything is contaminated. So people got these little glasses now and they put the little filter in. Filter what? And they'll say, well, you don't have this element in it, but what element is still in it? You have high concentration in New Jersey, Edison, all of them, I call them fake towns. New Brunswick, South Brunswick, Whitney, all those are prefabricated towns, like they rose up overnight. All the structures are just prefab. Okay, and those people have high concentrations of cancer. We have women in those areas who are having babies, and the baby got cancer in the womb. Okay, we have babies being born with deformities, one eyes, no arms, no heart, and no head, and living because they're attached to a twin. And you know, you work and look and study it before you separate the little artery and vein. So before you, okay, they do all kind of work. And the thing about it is we be having babies in our worst physical condition and still survive. That is what's amazing. So they would like very much to get into the whole genetic makeup of you. So that genetics, can you imagine 5,000 Hitlers walking down the street at you? If they can clone one, they can clone 5,000. With no spirit, no consciousness, no empathy, no sympathy for you. They just program. Like them canine dogs, program. Can you see these kind of people coming at you? If they can make a sheep and a monkey, what stopped them from making people already? When they show you the sheep and the monkey, they already did human.
That's right, sis. Teach. That's true.
So now, what are we waiting on? 25 Machiavellis to show up? Okay, you go to the store, you see someone look like you? Okay? we need to know that their whole concept, first of all, anything weaker than you is going to spend as much time as it can to have the appearance of being stronger than you and greater than you and before you.
Excuse me, who's driving the Cadillac? In the corner.
Just a little something.
Thank you.
So when we deal with this thing, when I see us as a whole powerful nation. I don't care if it's two people. When I see one brother coming down the street and he's like clean, his eyes, his skin, his hair, and you know he clean, it's where you just kind of like want to be there. And whoever his woman is, she gonna be stepping to your butt because she know you see exactly what she see. Okay, so that's one of the ways you can have 4 or 5 wives, because there's really not enough men to go around that are clean and right and good and humanitarian.
That's right. That's right.
All right, and you know, and I don't mean humble to the women, but humble to right.
That's right. That's right.
So when women don't have that humility shown in a man, they just go off of whatever's out there. So you got some more disorder, because see, they acting out. They're acting out, they're being rebellious because they want to have power that's recognized. They're only acting out what they see. Now, I don't like bringing up like things that we've done and gotten through and gotten out of, but hiding it behind in the closet. We don't need fraudulent fathers anymore. But for women to have children without the male figure in the house, that was wrong, that was a mistake, that was a no-no. Okay, and so for women to have to survive having babies and taking them to school and going to work, and the father have to leave based on this social pressure, all that did was set up the powder keg for women now to kill kids.
That's right.
So if you can leave them, you can kill them. If you can go work for that man and his sister, be dressed up in a little teeny skirt with a little suit on, a little briefcase, little gray stockings and your sneakers while you riding on the bus or the train with your paper folded in half, and you're just too cute with your little green contact lenses and everything fake. If you can do all that, you ain't think about no kids. That's like going to buy me a Shirley Temple doll again. Why? It's all fake. But that's your world. So now if we've had to live in the world that was not made by us and perpetrated by us, okay, now we have to put up with those children looking around. Where's their mother? Where's their father? Where's their auntie? Where's their sister? They're out in the street. So somebody got to put the men back in the house.
That's right.
And if you can't put them back in the house, then you better birth them in the house and keep them in the house. Because if you don't, they will be used against us. Because there's no reason for you to not like us. You should not be scared of us. But right now is at a point where we feel very, very, I feel that most men are intimidated. I don't mean they just hate us. But if you're uncomfortable around somebody like me, the system set it up like that.
That's right.
I didn't do that.
All right.
Okay? I still love you anyway, and I could still be fearful of you. I would rather cripple you than kill you. But now if it gets to a point where I fear you that much, then I will have to try to give you some pussy and kill you. Because I'm not going to let you walk back in the door and kill me. I'm going to have to fool you like the sisters out there in Hoochies. Okay? So they're giving up everything now. So we have brothers that can say they have 4 or 5 or 6, or they had her, and her, slap each other 5, and it's cool. Now you have sisters say, I'm going to get in there.
That's right.
I'm going to have his baby.
That's right.
I want a light, high yellow, wavy hair, gray-eyed baby. I want a beautiful baby. What's wrong with the big black one?
That's right. Teach her.
We have a problem.
That's right.
And the only way we can fix it is for those brothers who feel that they have some kind of infiniteness, you know, infinite wisdom to be with women, set the thing in motion again where it looks like it's all right for us to be with you. Because we have whole households in Newark with just women. And I mean, I know that's all over. But we have women who purposely set up households with women so they can have children and don't have no men. We have sisters who go get artificially inseminated to have children, but they don't want no men.
That's true.
European women doing it a long time, but now we got sisters doing it. On Thursdays, you get artificially inseminated. I mean, I'm not going to... The thought has crossed my mind. You know, but I want to know where you live. I want to know what you got, who's your mother. In other words, I really want to be family. But I don't want to take on that extra grief. I don't feel like arguing and fussing because I had to go to Georgia, or I have to go to Whippany, or I got to go to Virginia. This is where I'm going. This is where I was asked to come. That I don't feel like going through that grief based on where you're going. No, you can't. I don't want to go through that. So to keep from having to do that, I have to be by myself. I don't want to. But my children don't grieve me like that. My sons don't grieve me. They my fathers and my brothers. What time you coming back? Who you going with? Why you gotta go? I'll take you. Okay, because they don't want that involvement. They're only looking out for me.
That's right.
And that's because there's nobody else looking out for me like that. And that's the part that's pitiful, because when you sit and think of it, your children are your children. They're not your mate. So we have a lot of women who are not mated just based on once they got out of it, they don't want to go back. Okay? So we have to put something back. And I don't mean that sisters need to get used to the idea of polygamy, because you know you got somebody else anyway, but now you want to know who she is. You want to know where she lives. You want to know how many kids she got. That's causing grief right now because the sisters have not been raised up with each other from infancy, from 5 years old, from 7 years old. They don't know your personality. They don't know your lifestyle. So it's very difficult to push polygamy on a group of women, a nation of women who are used to being very arrogant and aggressive, having to maintain a family. It's very hard. Okay, and for you to tell women to sit down and shut up, they don't want going to work. Okay, we have brothers who want to work. It's not like all men don't want to work. But if you get used to selling some stupid stuff out here and you can make $2,000, $3,000 a day, you're going to do that. Okay, them boys on the street is doing it. I mean, they're making mad hand over fist money. It's wrong. And you have the mothers and the grandmothers who keep telling them, boy, don't you do that, boy, don't you do that. Well, stop taking that coat from them. Stop taking that pocketbook from them. Stop moving in this house over here from them. Okay, meaning we know what's going on. It has to stop. It has to be some strong men to come in and say, no more. Cut this shit out. A man will fear another real man. You're not going to have a roommate and you sleeping in the same house with a man and he chump you off. Okay? He going to move out. If he's scared of you, he going to move out. Women be trying. It's not going to work. We have to fix it. And it's very difficult right now because we have too many things in its way. So in order to get some order, like I tell people who are separating from their family, like men are leaving their wives or their women leaving the men, public service, I don't know what your utility organization is called, public service, people that run your lights, they're always open. If you're not with your wife and she got your kids, send her money order every month. What's the problem? You ain't got to send it to her. Right. Send it down. You know the address. That's right. Phone bill. You know the phone bill. Put the little money order in there in the form of pay to the order of. Okay. Oh, she got somebody else. We won't let you come and visit the kids. I'll tell you something. If you have children by a woman, and she has another man, if you're doing right by them children, she gonna always have you in her life. I don't care if you on the moon. Okay, even if you dogged her and got some sense later, and you got another man there, that little money order and check is there, or that little money order went to pay that bill, or the school or whatever you trying, she gonna always have you in her life. He gonna leave. He's not gonna deal with you sending little stuff off where he can't intercede it. He's not gonna have that. So if you're gonna be about right, you have to do it now while you still got some youth about you, some quickness about you, some mind over some things about you, because when you get 75 and 80, you're gonna think about it. And those kids now are going to be 30 and 40, and they're going to disrespect you because they're going to say, Daddy didn't try. Not Mama didn't try, Daddy didn't try. Even Tupac said he forgive his mama. That's right. And she was out there, and I was with him. Hey, give her a leaflet. She took too long, but it's all right. She was working. You know, we say, well, wait. You know, between her and a couple other good sisters, you know, you try to give out 25 leaflets. She said, well, where did she go? She was trying. She had a good heart. But she got caught up. Okay, but he forgave her. For us that was like in it but not ever of it, it got real ugly because they was pulling us off the street too fast as far as the movement was concerned. They got to the ones that was weak. But if you have 10 strong men walking the building, I mean, I have done it. Ask brothers just get 10 in a row, walk in the building and stand like this. Don't say nothing, just stand. Formation out and don't say nothing, leave. Who was those brothers? That's right. Just some brothers on the street. Put dashiki on them. Don't say nothing, just look around, just scrutinize and walk out. Scare people. Scare people. We have that ability just with our persona. Just by the way we walk. Don't nobody else walk like us. Don't nobody else walk like a brother. I don't care. I done been all over the world. I done been to Egypt, Africa, I done been all over. And the brothers, they walk like black men, but don't nobody walk like brothers in the United States. I swear. Don't nobody play ball like us. They trying to copy this thing. So we got something with us, and everybody else checked it out. They ain't even want to try to get it no more. They're going to try to corrupt it and get rid of it. You this stuff on TV, space travel, you're going to spend billions of dollars on UFOs that don't exist? Why would this country spend billions on something that didn't exist? Blasphemy. And you see them boys here, 2 weeks ago said they're going to heaven's door? Trust me, it's real. You saw Stargate? Yes. Okay. That's the gate they're talking about. If you read Ezekiel,
come on with the
the wheel within the wheel, okay? Okay, you'll know that it was us there, okay? More than one, all right? We have to know that those scriptures are talking about us. You have to go back to the Old Testament. You know, when you read and you don't know that the Persian Empire is Iraq and Iran. Stevie Wonder told you that. All right? The problem is to be able to walk on the water and don't get wet. Right, Paula Funkadelis? You're not even born then. Right? Right? Okay? But see, we have to know that they was giving us the message in the Word then. Okay? And the last poets, they was giving the message. And then the brothers in the prisons, rapping for days non-stop. That's what they're doing now. It's not new. Okay? So now we have to put all that in bridges together and say, wait a minute. How come we win nowhere with this? Okay? That's because they turned you on your own stuff. Told you it wasn't yours. It ain't no good. It's not viable. It ain't gonna work. Some nigga shit. But they got gangsta rap. Okay? The gang. Okay? So once you understand that you got a gangster, that's a whole nother villain. Now you got the mafia. You got the Cosa Nostra. And they actually give loving titles to these families. They take care of their people. Okay? Because you don't see too many of the brothers come here with their wives.
No, you don't.
Because they don't want them here.
No.
And another reason is they don't want to mix up with our brothers.
No.
Because see, the whole sexual thing there is different than here. They don't do to our women what our men do.
That's right.
Okay? So we may not have no money. But the brothers be down on intimate tips, okay? The brothers over there, you know, you have families, and plus their social life is different than ours here, and it's not to degrade their social life, but you know, we express things openly, holding hands, kissing, you know, walking down the street, we show affection, you know, we may say something, you know, even now they talking about is sexual harassment. I mean, if that was the case, I've been sexually harassed all my life. If I was to go and report every man that ever said anything to me, some of it is cute. Some of it is spooky, and some of it is like, wow, people really do that? You know? But for me to report all that, I would constantly stay in jail.
Yes, you would.
You know, and we need to get with, that's the way that they compliment us. Because they don't really know another way. And other ways are goofy and corny. It don't seem right. How are you today, baby? I mean, I'm just being facetious now, but I just want you to know that you get it. They always did. So we have to know that in order to protect our stuff, we have to know it's ours. Our men have to know it's ours, not theirs, ours. And in order for you to have any of it, you need to be protecting it too.
That's right. You're right.
For people to know that you don't care about us like that, for them to be able to stand you in court. I heard a judge say, are you guilty of this crime? And the brother said, yes, sir. And the crime was fathering a child, but he didn't read it fathering a child, not taking care of the child. Are you guilty of this crime? That was a criminal act of being born. Right. And the brother wasn't understanding the way that he was saying it. Okay, so he said, yes, sir. Okay. The young brother, the baby, when I say baby, he was about 7 years old. He said, Daddy, what crime? What crime? My daddy ain't do no crime. My daddy going to jail. My daddy ain't do no crime. He didn't give my mommy no money, but he ain't do no crime. Okay, so we need to look at how they say what they say and how they're allowed to say it.
That's right.
Okay, we got Brother Sharpton up there causing all kind of havoc because he's going to run for mayor. Okay, because you can do more with your little welfare check per month. If you put it together, you could buy a house. You know, 10 sisters together with their 1 month check could buy a house.
That's right.
You could buy a building. If you get $400 a month, okay, $400 a month times 10 sisters, that's a down payment. Okay? Then the next month you do that again. You can work it like that. But because you're not thinking in terms of sisterhood or brotherhood, you're thinking in terms, that's mine, put that fence around it, I own this. What happens when the bomb comes? What happens when the earthquake? Because the earthquake is already here.
That's right.
The tornado, the storm. They're showing you these movies. Okay, Dante's Peak. Okay, you see the tunnel? I'm in them tunnels going to New York. And I be like this. My girlfriend's driving, I'm looking for cracks. I'm looking for holes, because those things came through the turn of the century. The millennium is up. They're not the old Masons who built these brick buildings here. They are not the Bays of the world. They are not the original Masons. Those brick buildings are standing forever and ever, made by the brothers. The Moors, made by these brothers. They ain't making no more of those brick buildings. Now, you're going to make some fake stuff out here now and look like this. That's not the one. No. So they have to give you the impression that, oh, that's old. Ain't no windows. You only one way in, one way out. And we falling for the condominium. All it is a project decked on top of itself with some awning and some siding, 1 or 2 trees, okay, and a barbecue grill in the back. And they telling you it's a condominium. Okay. That's right. And it is, because as I came into this city, I'm looking out the plane. You got some serious landmarks here. See, the etchings. You know how you see etchings in the hills and in the mountains? You got some serious symbols. You wrote the plane out of here and you look down on it when you're coming back? You see the symbols all in the ground? Those symbols look very much like symbols you would see inside the caves. I was looking at markings. And it's right here. And we don't even understand that they Air Force bases or landing strips. Okay? And they have made marks so that people know where they're at. Even if they don't know the landmark for the city, they know the landmarks by those symbols. That's right. And we're situated right here on the eastern seaboard. Atlantic Ocean don't have any boundaries. Okay, so you see Minnesota and the rest of those places going underwater. Florida's going back to the Everglades. California's sinking. Where are they going to put us? We're right next to Africa. The Atlantic Ocean, you put your finger on New York and New Jersey and go straight across, you're in Dakar. And that peak that you come into on Dakar, on that far peak on the corner, I have stood on that peak every year for 14 years. And the stuff that you can see is unbelievable. And the vibe. And they keep that whole area, they keep it sacred. Because they said that's the bridge for the black Americans to come back. And to see where the bridge was, coming from Goree, to see that bridge, and to know that they waited for it to get full of the slaves, and then cut it, and they fell in the ocean, just to see it, just to see where the spikes is at. You know, it make you want to say, yeah, okay. It's like you want to see the bridge come up out the water and connect again. We're the bridge. We are the S-O-N coming from the S-U-N. We're already here. And everybody's scared of us. I mean, real fear. And if you understood the fear, they'd know that you come from here by the way you walk, by the way you act, by the way you look. So now, if you know that you're a walking weapon, okay, trigger is already half cocked, but the brain is dead. You just got to say, hold the phone, put down the gun, and go get all this stuff and swoop it up, suck it up, drink it up, rest it out, and then come back double fold. Don't lower your gaze, don't blink, don't swallow, because that will be the weakest point that you should have. Okay, when you blink, your brother got something behind you, because we can't think for 1 minute that there's any liberal people that love us. Okay, it can't be that way. So we have to know that right now, and this really is the stage where we need to be hibernating, saving food, okay, putting stuff away, dry goods, putting it in bottles, putting water away. Don't talk about it, because you think they're going to give you pure stuff? If they had devastation, you think they're going to give you we need the brothers who deal with the reservoir. We need the brothers who deal with the mass transit. We need the brothers. It was so nice to see a brother flying that plane. It was very nice to hear his accent. You know, and I knew it was a brother. I didn't even have to see him. And out of all the people that was on the plane, when I left, he left after me. And I was the last one to get off the plane. Because he knew I wasn't going to move with all them people. And he just said, thank you for riding with me. He didn't say us. You know, he didn't. I listened to everything you say. He said, thank you for riding with me. His Rasta, his locks was up underneath his hat. But he was like polished, clean, everything was nice. You know, that's right. All right, so I listened and I heard exactly what he said. I said, thank you for getting me here safe. So our whole thing, we need to communicate more. We need to compliment each other more. We need to know that we should not be our worst enemy.